Hi guys, this is a picture of a kitchen I found in the Google. I'm going to model this using AutoCAD 2014 and then render this using 3DsMAX 2014 with V-Ray. So if you look at it, it's a very simple kitchen and it shouldn't take more than 20 minutes to model in AutoCAD. And of course we cannot model everything. For example, I prefer to bring in this oven and the hood and all that stuff from my library. Everything else, pretty much all the interior elements, we will do it in AutoCAD directly. So let's begin. First let's analyze this image. We have a counter here with the cabinets, with a low height counter with cabinets and overhead cabinets here, and we have a full height cupboard, it's refrigerator and that other thing, and there's a breakfast table. It's very simple. For the purpose of this video, I will change a couple of details, like for example this one. I have no idea what that is. It looks like a rail to hang something, or I don't know. It's a very low res image, so I will not be using that one. And I don't like this handles. Personally, we had that handle at home. It is not a very good one actually. It will come off easily, so I'll be using our standard. It's a bit complicated, but I will use a standard handle. So that's pretty much it. And it's an L-shaped kitchen, so we only need to model this L-shaped part. I'm not modeling the whole kitchen, walls and windows and all that stuff, just this, and let's see how that goes. Okay, so again, my name is Alex and I'm from Kerala, India. Let's begin. First of all, what we need is layout. So this is the layout of that kitchen that I just showed you. So you can see the magenta colors are the low height cabinets, and the cyan colors are the overhead cabinets. You can see the sink and the oven and the refrigerator and the breakfast table, all set up in 2D. I assume at this point, that you guys know how to do your 2D at least. If you don't know 2D, then it might be difficult. Okay, to begin, let's do some elevations also. You don't have to be super accurate. Just look at that image and then copy as much as you can. Okay, as you can see, we have 2 drawers there, a tiny drawer there, and 3 drawers there. See, 3 drawers there, tiny drawer and 2 drawers, and all doors here. And this elevation, let's see, that elevation is here. This one has open cabinets and glass doors there, and the 2, what is that? Refrigerator and that other long full height cabinet. Okay, that's pretty much it. Let's start modeling. Now, I will not be using many of these toolbars and stuff. I'm not a big fan. I always type in my commands. So if you want to know what I'm doing, you can always look at the command line, and you might find I'm using some additional commands which are not standard AutoCAD commands, where that's because I have customized AutoCAD with some Lisp routines. If you want to know more about Lisp routines and how to make Lisp programs, you can, there are a lot of useful tutorials out there. It's a wonderful way to customize your AutoCAD. Okay, let's start. First of all, I'm going to change my view to this. This is southwest isometric. Okay. First of all, let us just make these elevations vertical. What I'm doing is I changed my UCZ axis this way and then rotate it, and the UCZ axis this way and rotate it. Oh, as you can see, it's aligning perfectly. See, all the lines are aligning perfectly. This is important, otherwise you might run into trouble. Okay, you can keep them close but not too close. Okay, then UCS world. Let's start modeling this. First of all, make sure that draw a line from the 0, 0, 0. That's the origin. Make sure that line is inside your model, somewhere that starts from inside your model. See, my 0, 0 is at this point. This is important. If it's too far away from the origin, V-Ray has problems, I heard. Okay. First, let me model this breakfast table. Let's make a layer. Remember, you have to make layer for everything which has a different color. Okay, so because a layer is considered as a single object or unbreakable group of objects in 3DsMAX. So let's just make a layer called table. Okay, this is a P line I'm drawing. I'm going to move it up by 800. So you can check it here. This is 800, and extrude it downwards. That's our breakfast table. And in the top you have the same thing as a canopy. So just copy this to the top. So you have two tables, this one and that one. Okay, now let's draw this thing, the post. Again, make a layer, extrude that layer, that circle. So I just change the color of that layer so that to distinguish stuff. Always try to add more details like base plate. So we have that, and you can always union all that to make it as a single object, then fillet the edges. See, Alright. Now let's do this counter. Let's make a layer called counter. Go to the side. Again, I'm telling you, you can look at this screen, this part of the screen, and you can see the commands I'm using. So let's just draw a box and make the height low, just below this tabletop, and draw another box as the countertop. This will be our granite or marble or something. Let's pull it out by 25 mm. See, pulling in AutoCAD, it's like we're working in 3DsMAX itself. You can just select an object and it has handles. You can always pull it. See, so if you want to pull a particular corner like a vertex, just press Ctrl and click that. See, you can move only that. Okay, I guess you know all that already. So let's first let me make the table layer color. So let's make sure the table and the countertop are the same material, because that's how it is in the reference image. Okay, now on this side we have all these doors coming, so let's make a layer called doors. I made the color red, something like that, and then UCS, I adjust the UCS to that elevation. See, if I draw a circle, it will be on that face, so it's like that. So let me draw all these doors. 20 mm. You might have noticed already that I'm working in millimeters. Okay, so you have your doors ready. You can simply union all these doors to make it a single object, and then move it. You see, when I move, I click on this point because I know I have that point here in 3D. See, all the doors are there, and that's that counter. Now let's make this counter. This is 300. How do I know? See, this is protruding lesser than the bottom part. I'm using the standard calculation. It's like 300 normally. So I'm making bigger boxes, subtract it, and then I'll get 2 openings there, and 20 mm. Move it and copy that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, make sure that this is in the white, the counter layer, and this is in the doors layer. Then move that. Let's say I know this point, that's same as this point in my 3D. So now that's done. You have that counter and that overhead counter. Now let's do this elevation. Let's just adjust the usage to that wall. Now in that one, the different thing is that it is glass. I think it is glass. You can see something going on inside. It's frosted glass or something. Oh well, before we forget, we have an oven coming there. So let's don't forget that. We don't have anything there. So let's just trim everything. Select everything in that counter and then slice it. I gave the command slice and select everything again and slice, and you can delete whatever is happening in between. So we have an opening there. Probably we'll have this skirting and a little bit of the counter continue. What do you want to do? Let's just do that. Then let me slice again. Select these two and then slice in the middle of this drawer. See, now we can place our oven right in there. Okay. Also, don't forget the sink. Sink is a bit tricky, so I'm going to copy the outline of the sink, extrude that, and copy that at the same location, and I subtract one of them from the tabletop and the other one from the counter. See, I have a hole that's going inside. Now let's put our sink in there. I'm gonna copy that sink to the top. Okay, let's make a layer called sink. Then extrude it down by whatever, it's going like 400 or something, and subtract it out of, see, you'll get the sink. Let's use the fillet command to make it a little smoother everywhere. Okay, so let's say we have a radius of that much. Select all the edges, make it a little smooth around the edges. Then do the same on this edge, same radius, and use a loop and select a loop. That radius was too much, sorry. Fillet. Let's do the same for the top. Then see, we have our smooth sink there. Let's just move it up. Okay, I just did that, but normally I place one sink from my library, but this is okay too. This will look just as good. Okay, now we have the sink, we have everything on this side is pretty much ready except for the handles. We'll come back to that. Okay, let's go to this side and then draw a box. Remember, I said it's all glass, so we have to show things happening inside. So let's So we need to draw and subtract all this. See, you can see the insides through the glass. Make sure it's in the counter layer. Now let's make a layer called glass. First of all, I want to have a shelf inside each one of these glass shelves. A very effective and easy way to do that is to copy these faces up. To do that, we have modify, solid editing, and copy faces, and then select all these faces and copy it to the middle. You'll get a shelf in there. Just extrude it by 8 mm. Okay, and then we can move it to the middle. Okay, I'll be using that method quite often from now on. Okay, solid face copy, solid face move. There's a lot of options. Then let's draw a box there, 8 mm. This is our glass. Later in the that's it. Now let's do another counter here, 300 only. Okay, and 2 doors there. The doors will be the same color as these doors, so let's just do that. And the refrigerator is 600. Let's do the same technique. 20 mm doors and I'm not getting my intersection snaps because of these solids, so I'm going to delete these objects, and I'm just going to do another this thing, and then I can say oops, so the deleted ones will come back, and move it to the front. Okay, and that's it for our kitchen stuff. Let's freeze our 2D and move it. You cannot move without 2D. So move it and place it there, and beautiful, we have our kitchen pretty much ready. Then let's draw a wall. Like I said, I'm not going to do the whole kitchen. Let's make a layer called wall, then draw a box, we have a wall. Now let's make ceiling. Let's draw another box here to the corner, 200. Let's draw another box here to the here, minus 200. This will be the floor. So this is the kitchen model, and it took us about, I think it's almost 20 minutes. So we have still we need to add all these what do you call the handles, and we need to make all this smooth, little fillet on edges. This is not really necessary, but I always like to do that to make things interesting. Now, when you do it, please do it before you do all these doors. I remembered it in the last minute. One way to do is also the counter edges. It's better to have rounded, to avoid injury. Oh, before you round that, make sure your tables are all one piece. Okay, that's it. No, it's not it. We still need to add the handles. I will do that later. For now, let's go to 3DsMAX and link this file. Oh, I'm singing. This is 3DsMAX 2014 with an Autodesk Exchange Store error message. Just close that message. Don't ask me what that is. First of all, I think I mentioned earlier, I've been working in millimeters. See, this is not 60, it's 600. And if you check the units, it also says millimeters, but I don't think that makes any difference. The important thing is that you go to 3DsMAX and make your unit setups to millimeters. Both system and display units, they're both millimeters, because your AutoCAD units will be in millimeters. Let's go to references, manage decks, then go to file and select your kitchen layout wherever you have saved. I know where I have saved, and open that and then attach this file, and that's it. You got it. Okay, and you can start working on it directly. If you see the corners, it's not very smooth, see, it's very faceted. And never mind that, we'll fix all that later. See our beautiful sink, it looks horrible. Also, for now I'm going to select all, go to materials and make everything, white, and render that. See, that's it. That's it for now. I don't have time, it's already 9:15 in the morning. I have to start working. So I'm gonna save this kitchen in that same location as kitchen, and pretty sure you guys know how to model a kitchen or anything by now. Okay, thank you so much for watching this first part of the video. I will be doing the second part where we will add more stuff in here, and we'll do the lighting and the texturing and rendering here in the second part. See you maybe in a couple of days. Thank you.